Hey, looks like we're back.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
We're still going at it, huh?
so they say, if you do things a certain amount of times, it becomes routine. So at this point, would you say that we've embarked on a routine?
We have embarked on a routine with the setup. However,
Uh
Natasha is never routine for being on video.
oh.
No matter how many times we do this, I'm still uncomfortable. So,
Okay.
and you're not helping. You didn't bring coffee,
Oh.
not a drop, some cognac or something.
Isn't cognac kind of counterproductive?
Oh, I'm
All right.
I'm on cloud 8 when I'm 10, 12, 15.
Let's get to it. Let's
Yeah.
get to it. Welcome everybody to another episode of Focal Conversations. My name is Michael Edwards, and
My name is Natasha Henry.
no. Okay, no rebuttals.
No.
We're off to a good start. We're off to a good start. We know we're off to a good start because I'm like, you know what? I'm not even gonna wear a hat today. I just came in and I was
All
like,
right.
yeah, you know
You
what?
got the baldy out.
You got that out. It's nice and shining. And so
Are you warm? Because you're usually cold when it's out.
it's a mixture of things right now. I definitely feel the breezes. Cold air is not helping, but for this podcast, I felt like I'm not gonna wear a hat.
All right.
All right,
Talk
so
about brand value, huh? Ooh. Like this is me. This is all me.
this is me.
all
So
my cl-
so let's get in. What are we talking about in this particular episode?
Setting boundaries that does not add value to your brand. Setting boundaries for it from a client management, right? Setting boundaries. Client comes to you with high expectation or projects that they've never seen your brand produce.
But before we get into that, let's get into the fact that we've mentioned boundaries because I think that's something as creatives we have a hard time establishing within the creative field, but more so with clients. Do you see that?
But I don't. I mean, you know me. That's me,
Yeah.
not just with the creative field. My job is different because I work for a corporate company versus creatively, I work for me and I work with you. So I set my expectations. In the corporate world, I don't really have a choice. I'm looking forward to my salary, so I work for
Okay.
that corporate company.
So that's
I'll do just about anything unless it doesn't devalue who I am from a race perspective, from where I come from perspective. As long as you don't devalue who I am, ethically, I have to get my job done. Versus creatively, if I'm not with it, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
Period. I set my own boundaries for my business, for my brand value.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. So do you think then that you had an advantage kind of coming into entrepreneurship and creative things? Do you think you had the advantage of having your day job kind of merge into this?
Yes, because there are things in my day job that I have to do, and I tell myself all the time, if this was me, if I had control, if I was able to say no, I wouldn't do it. So I take that into consideration in my own business, because it's my business. It's my brand.
Right.
I determine what my brand is versus corporate world. You really can't. You determine what the corporate brand that you work in. You got to add value to that brand because that's what they stand for.
I think it was a little different for me because although, yes, my day job presented itself as a introduction to me being in the professional world, I think I did not have that same type of boundary, I guess, acknowledgement. Going
I
into,
came in and you was just, ooh.
but okay, so I'll tell you why. Because I feel like within the creative space, you are fighting two things. You're fighting your self-worth as an actual creative, like saying, hey, the value of this is this in your own eyes. And then you're just happy to have a client say, hey,
Because
I
it's your
want,
full-time job,
yes,
right? It's where you
right,
make your living.
right. So it's like you're like, okay, yes, I'll take you, 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 and it's all yeses instead of where and the other side where I was working professionally, it was okay. I was able to filter and say, okay, this is what I want, this is what I don't want.
Yeah.
So I guess that's the difference of us kind of going into things. Where do you find the boundary is important specifically within the this creative professional space?
Boundaries for me is important. If I'm not producing something, for example, if you don't see my portfolio shows boudoir, I'm not doing it. That's because I'm not doing it. But if you see me testing some boudoir shoot and you come to me, we can find balance, but oftentimes you're approached with things that you've never done before, and clients keep pushing, well, you can do it, I know I can do it, but I'm choosing not to do it because it's not part of my brand value. And sometimes we take on things because the money is good. For me, and you are different because this is your full-time job. For me, I have another salary to look forward to, so I'll flat out tell you no.
Yeah, but
I send them to you.
Oh, but I mean, I think my point of view has changed over the years, obviously, because
Yes, I can attest to that. You're learning to say no. You're learning to say, and there's one sensitive topic. Well, it's not sensitive to me. I think respectfully to you. I mean, I can frankly talk about this one at a later episode, but you when you go into things, you see it's adding value to your brand until you get into it, and people devalue your brand.
Yeah.
They devalue you as a human being. But sometimes there's another path forward. Let's try this. Let's look at it this way, because you, Michael Edward, find your contribution add to their value. But oftentimes people don't see it the same. They're selfish. They're all about themselves, while you going into it devaluing your brand just to make their brand valuable. No, F that.
Yeah,
We ain't doing that no more.
it's funny. Do you remember when we shot a wedding one time, and we provided extra things for this client? We did this beautiful video. All of the things had
The
drones.
video that
everything.
wasn't part of the
No, it wasn't part of
the-
it. It was
the
added to it.
package.
And the famous words of this client was, "I'm satisfied, but I'm unsatisfied." I think when I had that experience, that made me realize that, okay, when it comes to clients and boundaries and what they may want in addition versus what they want initially, all of these things kind of came together, and I was like, okay, you know what? I have to get to a place where there is a professional boundary where I do the job. Yes, anybody, especially when they
go
hire
above and
us.
beyond.
Yeah,
Yes,
especially when
yes.
they hire us. Anybody who's hired us, they will never say, I didn't get an experience. And that's the one
absolutely
thing that I
correct.
really love about when we create together. People say, wow, when you guys are here, you're fixing the little things, you're making this right, you're doing all of those things. And we talked about that when it come to collaborating and things of that nature. I mean, it's so important to look at all of those things, understand that there's an experience, but then at the end of the day, there has to be like that boundary with that client where you're just not always giving,
Yeah.
and not recognizing that there are other jobs and there are other experiences that can kind of burn you out.
Yeah, and you have clients that are satisfied but yet not satisfied when you gave extra that you didn't have to. You took we took time, and it was outdoors too, hot as hell. Took the time, do the video, do the drone, yet she wasn't even satisfied when she didn't even pay for that, right? So some clients will be like, oh, I appreciate the extra mile, I appreciate you guys going above and beyond, and we're burned out, while her feedback is, I'm satisfied but not satisfied. Like, this is where you have to set boundaries. And sometimes we go into gigs where if this is what we agree to, this is what we do, and
Right.
we get out.
Right.
I mean, we can still create an experience within the package that we booked.
But that goes hand in hand with the boundary aspect. But I think it in my journey now, I would say the boundary starts even with the first hello, when the first email.
Oh yeah, you create that
You
experience
create
from
that
behind the scenes.
experience. You
Yeah.
create those things where you are making sure it navigates to a point of interest for both the client and me.
And you set expectation.
Exactly.
You set expectation from not showing up to the job, and then there's 10 other things added. You set expectation before you go. There will be some that want extras, but then you go back to, this is what we discussed, this is what we agreed to, this is what's in the contract. At least you have that paper trail to confirm what was discussed, and they're just not throwing things at you.
Yeah, yeah. Another caveat and or experience that really put into play that I'll share that I think is important. I had a client one time where in the middle of the project, I just came to a resolution with the client like I'm not the person for you.
Ooh.
This is not the job. What we sought out to do, one, your budget is not ready for that.
Yeah.
And two, I'm not ready to be aligned with you. And I think that was probably one of the hardest things where in the very middle, I've literally refunded a client for my peace of mind.
I'm sure that took a lot out of you. Jeez.
especially for me.
Yeah.
But it was that peace of mind at the end of the day where I was like, you know what? I would rather you have your money and you have an honest assessment from me that says I'm not the professional for you.
Yeah.
And maybe this is what you can do to help another creative with your project. I think that was eye-opening for me personally. And I remember I hit you. I was like, "Yo, I done refunded. I feel good." And you were like, "What?
You feel good? What's happening here? I'm looking outside to see if it's gonna snow or rain. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that was a turning point for me when it came to establishing these boundaries and recognizing that every client is not the best
It's not
client
for you. Every
for.
client. Yeah. Yeah.
And I know that I know we talked about, we said there's a client for every professional, but there's also the opportunity to say no when you get to a point where it just, you have to split ways,
Yeah, there's a client for every professional, but every client is not for the professional. Okay,
no.
so, and then you'll go through life lessons. We're not saying say no to all. Sometimes you have to take it on, experience it, and it teaches you a lesson. It teaches you a lesson.
First of all, don't side eye me. I learned. I hit you up. I was like, yo, I'm good. When I tell you guys, I'm gonna be very honest with you. It was like a weight dropped from my back and my shoulders, and it felt so good. I mean,
it took me days to believe that even happened because I've spent some time with you, and you have the kindest heart, and I'm little but a bulldog. Like,
yeah.
I'm straightforward too. Sometimes he looks at me like, "Oh my gosh, are you really gonna tell him now? Or you did that?" And yeah, so I'm glad.
But I'll go back to something that you said earlier, just before, where you said it's good to have a client who knows your things. Like they go to our website, they go to our Instagram, they see what we've created. They know, okay, this is what they've created. I want what you create. And I think oftentimes where boundaries get kind of skewed is when people come in with these grandiose ideas of what they saw on Pinterest, and they have these minuscule budgets, and we want to make it work. We want to make it work, but it's not what I've created.
No.
And that's where you kind of have to. That's like the first sign of like, okay, boundary. Is this worth my time? Like when people are coming to you with all of these grandiose Pinterest things, like how are you handling that from a professional standpoint?
I mean, first thought in my head, if I have to type every first thought, I'm sure it's not going to go well.
Right.
It's like, did you look at my like my head goes, did wait, I'm not Joseph on Pinterest. Like, did you look at my portfolio? But then I have learned to, okay, you got to bring the professional side in. Oh, I'm this is really cool, but I don't shoot like that. And
Yeah.
I don't have the time to create these what's the word?
Grandiose.
Oh, I
You're
said
on there.
it.
You're
All of that crazy ass shit. I know he's gonna blip that, but that's okay. It's up to him what he wants to showcase.
I said you could be like.
You're gonna leave these two words
I'm gonna
that I
let
just.
you-
Oh, what?
We'll see. We'll
Anyways,
see.
I do keep it straightforward. I don't shoot like that. I do ask questions. If you come with a concept, who do you expect to set that up, right? I remember just right before Christmas, this girl had a tree, 2 dogs, golden retriever. I don't own no golden retriever. Are you gonna hire them or something? I'm like, how are you gonna set this up? What is your expectation? Is this indoor, outdoor? And then she was thrown for a loop because I don't have a studio where I have a setup built for 2 dogs
Yeah,
and
yeah.
a tree. So then I put it back on them. Like, are you coming with your props? Like, if you come in with it and all I have to do is come with my camera, let's go. I'll charge you for a portrait photo shoot or lifestyle photo shoot. But I try to educate them. I was like, well, I see where your vibe is going. Look at my portfolio, something similar. It's not as grand as your Pinterest inspiration, but, take the time and look at my portfolio and come back to me. If you
Yeah.
don't find anything, then I'm not the photographer for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mind you, there are some things that come through that I really want to try. Maybe I was looking at doing something similar. So,
Right.
I'll express that to the client and then we can find a path forward.
Right.
But I don't want to take something on and fail at it. I don't want that. I
Right.
want to take something confidently on that I can produce. So,
I mean, and that's what you have outside of the creative world professionally, where
Yeah.
you're doing what you are trained to do.
yeah.
But I have a question for you. Speaking of boundaries, what do you think of clients who bounce from creative to creative to get certain experiences? What is your take on that?
I mean, I tell when they like, it's your choice, it's your money. You get what you pay for. You get what you pay for. Oftentimes, they come to us, they go to someone else, and they come back and say, "I wish I came to you, honey. You got what you pay for. It's fine." I wouldn't take on a client that I've seen someone constantly shoot.
Right.
Right. But if I don't know it, then I ask for forgiveness later. If I've never seen you shoot with that client and later I found out, oh my goodness, that client has been shooting with you for years, I don't think I'll approach you and ask for forgiveness. That's not gonna happen. But in the back of my head, I don't think I will take the client on again. But they can bounce. It's just you get what you get. It's your money. But what I don't like is I've had a client for so many times. Then I see a photographer who is close to me. You see, I have had this client, and all of a sudden you're shooting the client.
Yeah.
Like, we don't do that. If I can't take on one of my clients, I'm out of town. Same thing. Or you're traveling, or you have a gig that conflicts. We'll reach out to each other even before we refer each other to the client.
Right.
Hey, I have this client. They want to shoot this day. Can you take it on? We do things like that. But everybody, I mean, we live in a selfish world. Everybody's for themselves.
Yeah, I'm a loyalist. Like, if I see people create oftentimes within a certain space with certain creatives, I tend to reach out to the other creative just as a courtesy.
Yeah.
Because one, you got to make sure that mentally the client is where they're supposed to be. I don't ever want to walk into a situation.
Sometimes something is going on.
Right. And I don't want to be, but more so, it's just a loyalty, and I respect other people's craft, and I respect other people's money. Because I don't want to come in there and interfere with their budget or get in the way with the client being impatient with not being able to deal with the consistency of working with another. And I know that's not what's a purveying thing within the scope of the creative community, because at the end of the day, we want to make that money. And
Yeah.
two, sometimes we're just excited to work with people so quickly that we don't look at all those intangibles. I think boundaries within the professional scope, within the creative scope, has to happen
Within your circle.
within the scope
Within-
and professionally.
Yeah.
Just professionally,
Yeah.
because I feel like we get a bad rap. There are a lot of people that are coming into the game of photography or videography, and they're excited, and they're not looking at it from the standpoint of, hey, let's make this a viable income or a viable business where we all are growing together. It's a very me first mentality. And I think for this type of profession, you need to have that. You need to establish those type of boundaries to kind of like allow for there to be a flourishing of economy,
Yeah.
jobs, and just basic education for clients.
I agree. You find that in business too, right? It's like they don't have the patience to wait. You're working with a photographer, like a house photographer, for so long. And then because, something happened, health-wise, or they're traveling, oh, you can't wait because now they devalue your brand. So you go to someone else. That loyalty, you can throw that out the window. I ain't coming back. If I was the house photographer and you do that. Now, mind you, we can have a conversation to say, okay, I know you're traveling. I need this week. I need this now.
Yeah.
Do you mind I reach out to someone else? Yeah.
And I like it. I like it too when you work with brands and they explain that to you.
Yes. They're
Like,
very transparent.
Yeah, and like if you're transparent, that's dope.
Oh, yeah.
That is really.
I'll recommend
like,
who you should work
yeah,
with,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
But yeah, some people just don't have the patience.
Yeah.
They don't have the patience and they don't know how to create that loyalty.
I guess lastly then.
I know, I threw you for a loop. That's example from something big. I'm going to keep teasing you with that until...
I guess lastly, when it comes to boundaries within the professional scope of things. So we talked about the boundaries that you can establish from a business, the boundaries that you can establish when it comes to clients, the boundaries that it comes with other professionals.
Ooh, I have one.
Okay.
Ooh, the boundaries with them family members. Ooh, let me talk. Sorry, I don't know what your question was, but we're going to skip over.
No, we're going to
The
it.
boundaries with family members of people you know. Do not invite me to a party and tell me bring my camera. MFER. You did not help me buy that camera. We have to. That's the one thing. If you invite me somewhere and you tell me bring my camera, I ain't coming. Camera ain't
my
coming. Nor
goodness.
Natasha. So, again, you expect family members to support your business, right? And they don't. They want to take advantage of
Not
what
only do
you're
they
doing.
take advantage, but they be giving you like timetables on your own. Like you
And
just
specifics to what
like,
they
I'm
want.
just enjoying myself.
Yeah, listen, when I'm at a party, I'm here to dance, drink. I don't need to bring my camera. And for you to have the audacity to tell me bring my camera, I will
man.
decline your invitation.
Oh man.
Right? Or we go to something and we have our camera. It's our choice if we want to take the picture. And at the end, oh, when are we going to get the pictures? Excuse me?
Yeah.
No. So you have to set these boundaries. Look, I came in here as an invited guest. I volunteered at my will to take pictures. You're going to get it when you get it.
Oh man.
As a matter of fact, you won't even get it.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
yeah.
Sorry. On to your question. Do you remember?
But no, I think that was definitely necessary. I think a lot of times family and friends can be a deterrent to the promotion of your business, because it's even when they get the stuff, they're not promoting like your brand. They're not like, hey, Dual Vision and NH Photos did this.
No,
It's like, hey, we partied and this
You
is
barely get a thank you. Or your family members volunteer you to do something.
Hey, PSA. And I hate to say this.
Why
I hate
the
to say this.
PSA?
I'm just gonna
keep it
put
real.
it out there. If you're looking to think that your business is going to grow, 9 times out of 10, it's not going to start with your family or friends. And I hate to be the person that bears that bad news to individuals. You know, if that's the case, then algorithms would be specific to your friends and family that say, hey, you know what? I believe in this person. I'm going to like them. I'm going to repost it. I'm going to do all of these things. Sometimes you want to help reestablish the boundaries for your friends and family to be like, hey, if I mean this much to you, if my brand means that much to you, then why don't you repost in your stories? Why don't you like some things? Why don't you change the algorithm with intentionality to like the very
They're
people?
watching.
Because they looking, because you see them,
Oh,
see
yeah.
them, because we get to see the analytics
Yeah.
from time to time, and we's like, oh, they're looking, but they not.
They do nothing.
But I digress. I felt like
No,
had
it's a
to
good
throw
point.
that
Sometimes
there.
the support is a simple like, post, reshare, and you don't have to hire and pay me. I mean, it's fine, but don't expect me to walk with my camera.
Yeah.
The audacity.
Yeah.
know?
But I'll get back to my last question. We've talked
Oh, you
about.
remembered?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Very good.
I keep it back here. Don't let this age fool you. Okay,
Be
'Cause
careful what you ask me.
I know you always be going in on my age, but it's okay.
Oh, yeah.
It's all right.
It hasn't
But-
shown on the podcast. Yeah. It hasn't shown the age. It's not coming
But we talk about brands. So the cool thing is when you get to elevate in this field, brands start recognizing your worth. And larger companies and larger entities start recognizing your work. What do you feel is a proper buffer, or within the confines of our subject matter, what is the best way to navigate that type of relationship? Because I think sometimes when the bigger companies or the bigger brands come in there, we feel like we got to tap dance right away without understanding that there has to be boundaries. How do you think about navigating that world?
Like what side? So there's two, for me there's two different side of brands, and that reaches out. There's the ultimate big ones, right? And there's the one within our confine that was created. A brand was formed. So it depends on how you navigate that. First of all, brands tend to lowball you with a budget, right? I mean, do your research. Not because they offer you $3,000 and they're paying Jack over here $25,000 that you should fall for the $3,000. Do your research. Research the brand. I sometimes research their, what do you call it? Their value, their market value, right? If it's a $2, $3, $8 million brand, I mean, paying me $3,000 for photography all day doesn't make sense. So I think you just have to do your homework. I'm not a fan of doing work for brands because we're going to conflict. We're going to conflict. I do things a certain way. Brands expect you to do things a certain way. And you have to be mindful of the amount of work they're asking, right?
Right.
Oftentimes as small businesses, we are by ourselves, right? You have to take that into consideration. Your pricing. Are you pricing for one? Are you pricing for 10 people to do the work? Is this something, because we had one that came through, right? And it was supposed to be through PMDC to collaborate. We proposed having a couple models, wear your clothes, we come in, we shoot. Then we have 10 pages of the expectations, right? That's why we go back. Look, we came to you in a meeting. We told you what Portrait Media is about. We didn't tell you you're hiring Beyonce's photography crew. Portrait Media is about collaborating. This is so much we can give you within 2 hours. But yet you took the time. You took the time to just map out everything you want, like we were some guinea pigs or something, and you're gonna take advantage of us. So setting expectations. Setting expectations and doing your research is what I would say. And if you decide to go with the brand and work, make sure it is documented. List everything. I don't care how repetitive it may seem, but list everything you were promising to do, because they're gonna throw some things at you that you didn't sign up to do, and at the end is going to cause conflict.
No, I think you're right on top of it. Shout out to my boy Don, who sent me a branding kind of like manual on how to navigate through the branding space. I mean, I think when it comes to understanding all of those variables, you can't get caught up in the hype, you know?
No, no.
And I don't care what the brand is. The cool thing is they see, unlike other clients, they see your worth. They know your worth, and they know your worth when it comes to aligning with their brand. So being knowledgeable about who you are allows for you not to get caught up into the hype of everything, and to know what you said, what your expectations are, what your deliverables are, because that's the most important thing when it comes to brand marketing or brand partnerships is the deliverables.
One of the things I learned from, sorry, House of Dollar, my hair is dope, but they braid my pores, so it itches a little bit. But one of the things I learned in the corporate world is when we go after an agency to work with, or the agency come to us to work with us, oftentimes they ask for referrals, right? You can do the same. You can do the same. I want a couple, so a brand reaches out to you. Yes, they're hiring you, but you can ask them what other photographers they've worked with.
Absolutely.
And then do your homework, reach out and, and get that referral checked.
Yeah.
So I think it's a wise thing to do.
Yeah.
Some of us can be transparent. If you reach out to me, I'll tell you exactly what my experience was.
I think people know at this point that if they come to you, they're going to get every detail, the good and the bad when it comes to.
They're gonna get full transparency.
Oh my gosh. Well, I think we've covered all of the bases when it comes to the subject matter. I think at the end of the day, and I always feel like I'm saying at the end of the day on all of our podcasts, but there is a resolution to all of these points that we're talking about. Understanding the value of you first allows for the most appropriate buffers when it comes to this professional space.
Yeah.
And
that's actually that's a good point, because a lot of times we don't understand our own value and our own brand value, so we sell ourselves short. So I think the first most important thing is understanding your brand value, understanding your worth. Are you worth $50 a photo shoot, or are you worth $300 a photo shoot? So if you don't understand your value, you will always go into a situation where you are going to be devalued by that client, by that brand, by that family member, right? And that prevents you from setting the boundaries. So,
and at the end of the day, you have full control. The cool thing about photography is we own everything. It's our intellectual property, even when we're giving it to our clients. Our clients are having an experience that we have cultivated for them, and understanding that, and understanding all of the things that come along with the creative process. You have so much more power than you really recognize that you do.
Yeah.
And if you kind of really dig into what your value is, what your brand is, what you're trying to portray each and every time you create, and understand these variables that we're talking about, I think it gives you that leg up.
Yeah.
You're gonna have your situations. You're gonna have your individuals that are gonna test you and have, like myself, have me praying at night that I don't pop off. But
you can pop off, right? You can. You can pop off. Sometimes just get it out of the way. Get it out of the way so it's not eating you alive.
Yeah.
Once I pop off and I'm satisfied, then we can move on. I'll never work with you again.
We understand that you enjoy a good look back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And that awareness of myself and my brand and who I am allows me to confidently say no.
Yeah.
Allows me to say, I'm not coming to your child's baptism because you wanted me to bring my camera. I don't care if it's in a church, a funeral home. I'm not coming because you've devalued me in just that invitation. So, having that, who I am, what I stand for, my brand value. I know my brand value. I am aware of my brand value. I will confidently say no when I need to say no and set those boundaries.
All right. Well, I think that's a good place to put a period.
No more questions
to this conversation. No more questions. This has been I feel like this has been a very informative topic because We need to know our power. We need to know our
Ooh.
worth. We need to
We
know
keep
that we
going.
can say no.
This episode gonna be 50
No,
minutes.
we're not gonna. But knowing that just gives us so much more strength, and it alludes back to that point that we talked about where we went to our first conference, where he talked about, hey, I know a lot of you guys are in here are photographers, but it's more than that. If you want to be a business, if you want to be a business,
It's more than holding that camera and just shooting, right?
Exactly.
I'd feel empowered to say no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. With that being said, I'm Michael Edwards.
I am Natasha Henry.
And
confidently know my brand value.
This has been another episode of Focal Conversations, conversations that are important to your creative journey, and we look forward to many, many more.
Yes, we do. Unfiltered.
Oh gosh, we got a little unfiltered today.
We did.
All right, guys, we'll see you all later.
Bye.
Bye.